You wake up tired even when you slept. Not the kind of tired that coffee fixes. The deeper kind. The one you don't talk about. You tell yourself it's age, stress, responsibilities. But that's not the truth. The truth is quieter than that. And that's why it's dangerous. Your body is not failing you. Your life is exhausting you. Not because you eat wrong, not because you miss the gym, but because every day you live slightly against yourself. You know exactly what I'm talking about. That constant low-grade tension in your chest, the feeling that you're always bracing for something. That's the secret nobody wants to say out loud. Longevity has very little to do with food, and everything to do with how much inner noise you tolerate. Most people die long before their heart stops. They just keep breathing out of habit. Here's the harsh truth. Most doctors won't tell you. Stress doesn't kill you fast. It erodes you slowly. It shaves years off in silence. Not with drama, with routine. The quiet secret to a long life is not kale or supplements. It's how often your nervous system is at peace. And for most of you, that number is close to zero. You live in constant reaction to people, to expectations, to money, to problems you never chose but keep carrying. Your body was not designed for this. It was designed for danger that ends, not pressure that never shuts off. That's where the damage happens. Let me tell you something uncomfortable. Most of your stress is optional, not the events. The way you allow them to own you. You've built a life where everything gets access to you. Your phone, your emotions, your time, your sleep. You call it being responsible, but your body calls it a threat, and it responds accordingly. High blood pressure is not a mystery. Neither is chronic fatigue. Neither is waking up angry for no clear reason. These are not random failures. They're feedback. Your body keeps score when you don't. Here's the first lesson people avoid because it exposes them. You don't need more comfort. You need less internal conflict. Every time you say yes when you mean no, your body registers danger. Every time you stay silent to keep peace, your nervous system prepares for war. You think you're being mature. Your biology thinks you're trapped. Look at real life. The man who stays in a job he hates for 20 years, not because he can't leave, but because he's afraid of who he'd be without it. He eats well. He walks every morning, and his body still breaks down early. Why? Because his identity is under constant strain, and identity stress is the deepest stress there is. Most people fail here because they confuse survival with safety. They think paying bills equals peace. It doesn't. Peace comes from alignment, from not lying to yourself every day. What must change is simple but brutal. You must stop negotiating with what drains you, not dramatically, quietly, decisively. The second lesson is even harder to accept. Your body mirrors how much self-respect you practice. People think self-respect is an attitude. It's not. It's behavior. It's leaving conversations that poison you. It's not explaining yourself to people committed to misunderstanding you. It's resting without guilt. Most people fail because they outsource their worth to bosses, to partners, to children, to social approval. So they stay tense, always waiting for permission to exhale. Look at the woman who holds everything together: family, work, everyone's emotions. She's admired. She's praised. and she's exhausted in ways she never admits. Her body carries what her mouth won't say. That constant tightness in her shoulders, the headaches, the sleep that never feels enough. That's not weakness, that's unexpressed boundaries. What must change is this: you must allow some people to be disappointed in you. Longevity requires that. Otherwise, you die of being useful. The third lesson makes people uncomfortable because it involves loneliness. A long life requires the courage to be misunderstood. Most people stay sick because they stay connected to the wrong things. They keep draining relationships alive because history feels safer than solitude. They stay available to chaos because silence scares them. But here's the truth: no one likes it. Your nervous system heals in quiet, not loneliness as punishment, but solitude as recalibration. The healthiest people you'll ever meet have one thing in common: they protect their inner world ruthlessly. They don't explain their routines. They don't argue about their boundaries. They don't need to be everywhere. Most people fail because they think isolation means failure. They confuse noise with life, so they keep themselves stimulated, distracted, and stressed, and call it normal. What must change is your relationship with silence. Silence is not emptiness, it's repair. If you can't sit alone without reaching for something, your body never truly rests. The fourth lesson cuts deep because it touches money and power. Financial pressure ages you faster than poverty. Not lack, but dependence. When your lifestyle is built on money you can't afford to lose, your body never feels safe. When your self-worth rises and falls with income, your nervous system stays on high alert. Most people fail because they chase status before stability. They build impressive lives that trap them: big houses, big payments, small freedom, and freedom is oxygen. What must change is how you define success. Success that costs your sleep is failure. Success that keeps you anxious is a slow death. The body knows when your life is fragile. The fifth lesson is the one people feel but rarely articulate. Your body wants consistency, not intensity. Extreme diets, extreme workouts, extreme productivity. It all looks disciplined. It's actually violent. The longest living people don't live dramatically. They live predictably. They wake up at similar times. They eat without guilt. They move without punishment. Most people fail because they treat their body like a project instead of a companion. They push. They punish. They override signals. Then they act surprised when something breaks. What must change is how you listen. Fatigue is information. Irritation is information. Loss of joy is information. Ignore it long enough and your body will force the conversation. Now let's talk about something darker, something most people sense but never say. You are aging faster when you live out of obligation instead of intention. Every "I have to" tightens something inside you. Every "I'll deal with it later" delays healing. Time doesn't heal what you keep reopening. Your body doesn't age by years. It ages by unresolved tension. That's why two people of the same age look decades apart. One made peace early. The other kept fighting themselves. You don't need to escape your life. You need to stop resisting it. There is a difference. Acceptance is not resignation. It's removing friction, and friction is what wears you down. Most people spend their lives at war with reality. They argue with what is. They replay what should have been, and their body absorbs the cost. Here's the part that will make you uncomfortable if you're honest. Some of your stress exists because it gives you identity. You don't know who you are without struggle. So you keep problems alive. You stay busy. You stay overwhelmed because stillness would force you to face yourself. But a long life demands that confrontation. It demands that you ask, who am I when nothing is wrong? If you don't know the answer, your body keeps creating emergencies. This is why retirement kills some people quickly. The noise stops and they collapse, not from rest, from emptiness. Longevity requires a life that doesn't depend on crisis, a life with rhythm, with meaning that isn't borrowed, with days that don't require recovery. This is not about control, it's about coherence. When your thoughts, actions, and values align, your body relaxes. That relaxation is not laziness, it's efficiency. You sleep deeper, you digest better, your immune system works without panic. This is biology, not philosophy. The body thrives when it trusts the environment, and the environment includes your choices. So here's the quiet truth in its simplest form. A long life is built by reducing internal violence, less self-betrayal, less unnecessary urgency, less explaining, less proving, more honesty, more pauses, more saying, this is enough, not because you gave up, but because you woke up. You don't need to optimize everything. You need to protect something, your nervous system, because when that is calm, everything else follows. And when it's not, nothing you add will fix it. You can eat perfectly and still decay from inside. You can exercise daily and still live in fear. You can succeed publicly and rot privately. The body always tells the truth. Eventually, the question is whether you listen now or later when it's louder and more expensive. A long life isn't earned by doing more, it's earned by doing less of what hurts you quietly. That's the secret. And once you see it, you can't unsee it, because from that point on, every choice either calms your body or shortens your time.